always be yourself, unless you can be Batman.
Because I'm Batman.
Then be Batman.
Are you nuts? You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Which is why we're talking about Batman. Even though we got the Lego Movie 2 coming out here real soon, we're diving into Batman. It's a Lego Batman, but it's a Batman. And this Batman has been living in a prison. We're going to talk about it and the way out. Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and this is my theological analysis for the Lego Batman movie, with the Lego Movie 2 coming out here real soon, and I'm pretty darn excited for it. I thought I'd dive back into some of the other Lego movies, and right now I'm going to dive into the Lego Batman movie. This is probably my favorite of the Lego movies, simply because Batman. I mean, come on, Batman is one of my favorite superheroes of all time, and you know, this movie is interesting in that it's like this goofball animated parody, and yet it was a super interesting take on Batman, his relationship with the Joker, and his relationships, period. Yeah, it was light and fluffy and shallow and stuff and on the nose, but it was really well done in a pretty darn good Batman story.
Don't you think it's time you finally faced your greatest fear?
Snake clowns.
Being a part of a family again.
No, now it's snake clowns because you put that idea in my head.
Fear is a very weird thing in how it works, but it's something that could really imprison us. I mean, just take Batman, for example. Even this Lego Batman, because it's still Batman. That Batman history is there, and that history is his mom and dad were murdered in an alley. You probably don't want to put that in a kid's Lego movie, but that is what happened. They were killed in an alley. So what does Bruce do? He trains and he becomes Batman to stop what happened to him from happening to anybody else. In a sense, he's kind of fighting to preserve families because he doesn't want families, friendships, relationships, people torn apart by the same evil and the same cruelty that wounded him in his life. So he puts on the Batsuit, he runs through the city of Gotham, and he beats the ever-living snot out of crime to save and to protect people. And yet, he is so imprisoned by fear, he can't let a single soul in here. He can't do it.
No. Gosh, I hope we're recording that.
He wanders around his bat cave alone, eating some awesome lobster dish that, oh man. I mean, just the thought of that is making me really hungry right now. But then he swims alone. He goes into his little private movie theater alone and watches movies about relationships. I mean, what's that about? It shows you what he's craving. He's craving solid relationships in his life. But the very thing that he's craving is the very thing that he fears. The very thing that he began his fight for as Batman is the very thing he fears to live out himself. Because that fear of that pain of loss. And that's the weird thing about fear. Like, Batman can easily say, and he does in this movie, that he's pushing Dick Grayson away, he's pushing Barbara away, and he's pushing Alfred away. I mean, there's a whole scene where he pushes them away, he gets sucked into the Phantom Zone, and he goes, I was pushing them away to protect them.
Are they really the ones you're protecting?
But then in watching on that little theater there, all the hurt in Robin's life, all the hurt in Alfred's life, all the hurt in Barbara's life, all the hurt when he pushes them out of his life, he realizes, oh, I'm not doing them any favors. And see, what I think is interesting is, I think he really did believe he was pushing them away to protect them. I mean, come on, he chose the life of a vigilante. Of course, there's legitimacy to the idea that he's pushing them away to protect them. But I think deep down he knows the truth, and he's never let go of the truth. He just doesn't want to look at it, he doesn't want to acknowledge it, and he doesn't want to act on that truth. And the truth is, he's so afraid of losing someone again. He's so afraid of losing someone he loves and experiencing that pain again that he is protecting his own self by pushing them all out. Batman is so afraid of relationships, he can't even have an arch nemesis in this movie.
And I'd say that I don't currently have a bad guy. I am fighting a few different people.
What?
I like to fight around.
He's afraid to let it in because of the pain. At the same time, he goes to the Fortress of Solitude to break in and steal the Phantom Projector, sends little Robin through the vent and all that stuff. He goes in there, and Superman is having like the 50-some-odd Justice League party, and he's like, what? You didn't invite me? And you just see it. Batman wanted to be invited. Yeah, he wants to reject all of them, but if he can reject them, then he's rejecting them on his terms. If they're not even inviting him into the party, that kind of hurts, and it shows the truth that he knows is there but doesn't want to acknowledge. Then the movie takes it on this really big symbolic thing. I mean, you have all of Gotham City splitting in half right down the center. Half the people on one side, the other half the people on the other side, and the only way to save Gotham City is for them to all like stack up on top of each other and connect. They literally have to reach across the gap and connect. In 2 Timothy, it says, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So if fear is a spirit, it's not going to be driven out by isolation and trying to protect oneself. It's going to be driven out by connection, by connecting to the right source, like God, who is a spirit, and his perfect love chases out fear.
White. All important movies end with a white screen.
When you watch the Lego Batman movie, what did you think? And are you excited for the Lego movie too? I'm excited for it. It's why I'm talking these Lego movies. So let's dive into this in the comments section. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian and hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified for my next theological analysis, movie review, ranking video, or anything else I do here. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.